Tom. Hello everybody, Tom Fox here, welcoming you to a Let's Play of probably the most underrated Wii U game, in my opinion anyway, Star Fox Zero. This is probably my second favorite Star Fox game under 64, and well, definitely above Assault. I didn't really like Assault that much. I know, my opinion is suddenly out the window here. But this game has very mixed feelings amongst the people who played it, mostly because of its prominent use of motion controls. But aside from that, it's not a hard game to get into, honestly. You just sort of gotta know what you're doing going into it. And that's kind of more or less what I'm here to teach you about a little bit. This Let's Play is gonna be divided into, I guess 3 acts, primarily, focusing around the main game. The main game consists of a linear story, which, after you beat that, will allow you to unlock other paths later. So that Act 1 will be us going through the main story, starting off. Act 2 will be us unlocking the new areas, and Act 3 will be us unlocking all of the new, all of the medals across each level. So, let's say no more and jump straight into the main game.
The name's Fox. Fox McCloud. I'm the leader of Star Fox, an elite fighter squadron established by ex-Cornerian flying ace James McCloud, my father. 5 years ago, my father was hired by General Pepper of the Cornerian Army to investigate strange activities on planet Venom. He never returned. Despite being a backwater little rock in space, Venom had become the base of operations for Andross, a crazed and banished scientist. 3 pilots flew out on that mission. My father, James, his best friend and wingman Peppy Hare, and Pigma Dengar, an honorless slimeball who volunteered for the assignment. Turns out Pigma was working for Andross the whole time. No one saw it coming. Pigma betrayed Peppy and my father and led them straight into a trap. In the chaos that followed, my father sacrificed himself to create a diversion so Peppy could escape. Barely making it home with his life, Peppy knew it fell upon him to report the courageous last moments of James McCloud. At the same time, he delivered the news that Andross had amassed a terrifyingly huge army and intended to conquer the entire Lylat system. And so began the Lylat Wars. Five years have passed. The battle between the Cornerian army and Andross's forces is spreading to every planet in the Lylat system. To carry on my father's legacy, I brought Star Fox out of retirement. I've got the latest technology, and I'm filling the team with pilots I know I can trust. Slippy Toad, a close friend and a gifted mechanic. Falco Lombardi, a hotshot flyboy who's got your back when the going gets tough. Peppy Hare, my father's old wingman, a seasoned pro and the glue that holds the team together. That brings us to today. While en route to planet Corneria, we received an urgent message from General Pepper. Apparently, Andross's army appeared out of nowhere and launched a full-scale attack on our once peaceful capital. Now's our chance to honor my father's legacy and restore the Star Fox name. You hear that, Andross? We're coming for you! Entering Corneria's orbit.
It's been too long.
Uh-oh, looks like trouble down there.
Urgent message from General Pepper.
Star Fox, do you read me? We're under attack from Andross's army. We need your help immediately.
Guess we'll have to save the sightseeing for another time.
Check your G diffuser system.
So now at this point, what it wants me to do is use the cockpit view. You could press the minus button to switch between the main view and the cockpit view, and aim at each one of them and
Go here. I'm fine.
let them, and they'll let you know how they're doing.
Slippy here. I'm okay.
This is one of the biggest complaints about this being the precise aiming system. And if you heard that like ding 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 noise before during the cutscene, that's because
Systems go.
that's because this system was active during the whole thing. I'm not really gonna be looking at the gamepad much, but switching with the minus button is probably the easiest way to go about it, so you're not constantly getting distracted between two screens. You might have noticed as well how the mixing is between the music and the dialogue. Well, that's gonna be a big thing with this, because unfortunately, oh boy, there we go. Unfortunately, all the dialogue on this game is supposed to come through the gamepad. I'm capturing all the audio from the gamepad because it uses a headphones mode as well. I'm gonna try to stay in this mode as much as possible without like diverting from the from what's known and loved about Star Fox 64. But the precision aiming is actually really nice to use, because then you can just like aim exactly where you want the lasers to go and they will just go right there. It's great. Grabbing a ring here to refuel shield. If you use the boost and ascend at the same time, you'll do a loop. ZR is your basic weapon. If you hold it down, you can lock on enemies. Whoops. Left and right stick both control your ship. Left stick moves your ship around in in various directions, such as up, down, left, and right. The right stick changes your... Shut up, Slippy. I'm trying to explain the controls here. The right stick affects like whether you're facing one, whether you're tilted one way or the other, which can affect your turning. Also, it affects if you hold up on the right stick, that gives you a boost. If you hold down on the right stick, that puts in your brakes. Both of those use that meter on the bottom there. Whew. On top of that, though, big difference between this game and previous Star Fox games is that the charge laser does more damage against, oh, hang on one sec. The charge laser does more damage against bigger enemies. In previous Star Fox games, it would do the same amount of damage, and not really much would change on that. The laser I have right now, the plasma laser, instead of that being there until you lose a wing, it instead is on. Once you take a second hit, you lose the plasma laser. The plasma laser does 3 times as much damage as the regular laser, and the dual laser does twice as much damage. So if you want to do as much damage as possible, really helpful if you keep that on. Of course, if you tap the right stick twice in either direction, honestly. So if you hold it one direction and go the other, you'll do a barrel roll, or they call it a barrel roll. It's actually an aileron roll, as we all know from our studies in class of taking space pilotry. But no, that'll deflect lasers, so that's a good way to sort of keep your laser upgraded. Unfortunately, I did lose my my plasma lasers.
Whoa, the tower's in bad shape.
And the tower is dead.
Star Fox, I'm glad you made it. I'm holed up on the top floor. You must help.
Switching to all range mode.
We were already in all range mode. So this particular thing right here, in all range mode, you have to try and destroy as many enemies as possible, and destroy a certain amount of them. You want to destroy 10 of them before time runs out. You can make this a little bit easier on yourself by not actually targeting any enemies on the map until the counter comes up. Because if you do it beforehand, it just makes it that much more difficult to be able to get everything going there.
Let the bugs handle the rest.
I'm currently playing in first-person view because if you're not, oh no, I guess it is showing everything there.
Slip, we're not done here just
Oh
yet.
no, it's showing them leaving, so that's the reason why it seems a little bit weird that I'm flying towards the camera right now. So that's why I like the cockpit view in this particular case. On top of that, you still fly during cutscenes, so using the cockpit view then is probably a good idea.
Not bad, Fox.
So now I gotta take care of these bugs. And as you notice right there, whoops. Well, I just did a U-turn. If you come out of cockpit mode and hold down ZL, it'll show you exactly where your objective is. One of the easier things you can do to ensure that you hit these guys on the top is if you lock onto them and then aim above them.
Use your motion control.
Yep, I'm using them, Peppy.
I guess you're good for something.
The motion controls are honestly like the big reason why a lot of people stay away from this game. I honestly think it makes it a lot easier than Star Fox 64. And boom! Ah, shoot. Okay, I got it. Whoa! Okay.
I guess you're good for something.
Anything else around here? Nope, I got them all.
I think we got them all.
You can also press Y to retarget your, or recenter your reticle.
We are once more in your debt.
I don't think you can actually lock onto this guy. I think he was something you're supposed to be able to destroy before. This cutscene you can't actually skip. And here we are at our first boss.
Watch you like the insects you are.
Weaponized Flying Fortress Androza.
Target mode engaged. Let's take down that enemy ship.
This is another reason why people don't like this game as much. Target mode. As you can see, no matter which way I'm turning, I'm always aiming towards the ship there. This is easily rectified with the first person mode or the cockpit view. And your goal in this one, ow, is to destroy all of the cores there, or all of the weapons there. However, once you destroy them, you can see we've gotten ourselves some stuff here that we can use. Ooh, actually, you know what? I can't do that yet. I was gonna go inside there, but we'll have to cover that another time. Ah! I got it. That hurt a lot, but I got. Ow!
We're not going to fall that easily.
Are you now? When you're not actually looking at the Androza, it's kind of good to go outside of the cockpit view.
To target enemy weak point.
Oh, oh, there are only 4.
You Star Fox. I'll get you next time.
I thought there were 6. As you can see, that is not the last time we were gonna see this enemy here. And we did it! Our first area, Corneria, has been completed. Mission complete.
We're heading out. All aircraft report.
I'm fine. You okay over there, Fox?
You did it. That was a close one.
You're becoming more like your father.
As you can see from this screen, it shows us our bonuses and whatnot and things that we get from this. You can see on the top right that there are 5 medals you can get. Most stages will have 5 medals, some will have less than that. And the health of your allies will determine bonus hits you get at the end. So we got 285 in total. Unfortunately, in order to get the medal for that, we need to get 300, but we'll be going over that at a later date. Now let's blast off into the stars and move on to our next location. From Corneria, we are heading over to Sector Alpha. And you notice on the screen here that there's a lot to take in here. We got Corneria, we got Sector Alpha, but we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 planets, 5 more planets, 3 more sectors, an asteroid field, and what appears to be some sort of ring world. If you hit X, you can see the score list, which will tell you the amount of medals and hits you've gotten on each level. If you press B to go back, I believe that takes you to the main menu. You can press, and you see at the top here, there's an Amiibo thing. If you touch a compatible Amiibo to the system, or to the Wii U gamepad, you will be able to use one of 2 different Arwings. A classic Arwing, which is based on the Super Nintendo Arwing from the original Star Fox. It has a lot more defense, but it cannot lock on to enemies, and instead the charge laser is a miniature bomb. That's the one you get from touching the Fox Amiibo. If you touch the Falco Amiibo, you get a black Arwing, which does 3 times as much damage to its opponents. It basically starts off with the plasma lasers at default and can still be upgraded, but you take a lot more damage in exchange. I recommend using if you have a Falco amiibo, I recommend using this one to get some of the medals that require you to take out a lot of enemies, especially ones that take a bunch of hits to take down. Either that, or you're gonna be, but on the flip side, you also need to be really good at avoiding enemies to begin with, so that's more or less up to you. Anywho, let's get into Sector Alpha.
Corneria is safe thanks to you, Star Fox. But there's no time to relax. An enemy fleet is approaching, and we need you on the front lines.
Understood.
Good luck. I think another thing that people don't like about this game is the fact that it's a reboot of Star Fox 64, as opposed to being an expansion on the story that we were left off with in Star Fox Command.
Get in there and provide backup.
If I recall correctly...
Heads up, the enemy fleet's closing in on our position. Do a barrel roll.
Yep, Z and R twice, except this one it's the right stick. You might have noticed that when I was shooting at the crash ships, you saw hit +1 go over those ships. If you shoot down an enemy ship, ow. If you shoot down an enemy ship while it's going down, you'll get an additional bonus point for that. Well, sorry, Slippy, you got in my way. I wasn't locked on yet. One thing you might have noticed as well is that when I finish locking onto an enemy, you will see either a blue laser or a green laser come out. If the blue laser comes out, that means you let go of the lock-on right as it locked on, and it fired out a much more explosive laser. Very good for taking out large groups of enemies.
Fox, eyes up top.
Eyes up top, Fox. I believe, nope, I used the wrong thing. If you press X, you'll do a loop. If you press, oh god, I don't remember what button it was. Ah, if you press R, you'll launch a bomb. There we go. These guys just straight up want me dead. Well, you know what? Too bad, Slippy. I got it. I now have plasma lasers again, so that's really good going into here. They're a little bit far away, so I can't quite shoot them. There we go. Come on. I apologize for, like, not speaking a lot, but it's a little bit, taxing to try and, like, speak and, like, do all this stuff at the same time.
Stay sharp. We reach the heart of the enemy fleet.
Oh boy, I don't think I'm anywhere near, the range of getting, whoa, that's a lot of enemies.
Okay, guys.
Oh, that's one hit. If I take one more, then I'm not gonna be good. I'm not gonna be in range of getting the hit medal here.
Be careful, Fox.
A lot of enemies come out. This game is actually can get pretty difficult at times as well. Phew. Phase 1 complete. I don't think that actually does anything, taking out all these here, but now we get introduced to our new vehicle.
The walker allows for more maneuverability in confined spaces.
The Chicken Walker, as I like to call it.
Commander, yeah, they've broken into the ship.
Uh oh, oop.
If he wants to meet his doom, then send in the attack
Whoa.
robots.
Okay, let's go ahead and, ah, damn it, there goes my plasma laser.
It's the end of the line for you.
So, now that we got this new Chicken Walker, we actually have some more, a new way to control the Arwing. So instead of constantly moving forward, you use up and down on the left stick to move forward and backward. Left and right turns you. Tapping left and right on the right stick twice will do a roll. You can still boost, and down will let you hover. So now we gotta make our way through this area here. Whoops, okay.
Tilt the right stick up to dash.
There we go.
Keep it back, you fools!
Hit some of these guys out here. These guys are coming in here tight. Oh my god. Unfortunately, you can't strafe, which would be really useful on this thing. But what can you expect from a chicken walker, huh? All right. Get that. Climb up. Uh-oh.
Commander, yeah, they've broken into the ship.
I like how it's the exact same line as he said before. Commander, yeah, they've broken into the ship. I believe if you come up here, yep, there's a gold ring up here. If you get 3 gold rings, you're provided with an extra life. And I got hit by the barrier there, so there is that.
I'm getting some strong energy readings from in here.
So you want to do is, if you can, get through there. Ah, I missed it. If you can get all 3 of those, that gives you, all 3 of the gold rings that have, like, metals in them, that gives you, a medal.
This must be the power source.
Enemy shield analyzed.
This boss is pretty darn easy. Believe me, they're not all like that. Yeah, all you gotta do is shoot the core. And
Target view for a better angle.
boom! I was not using target view there, but that is something that, like Peppy says, you should be using target view there to make it a lot easier. Woo! Mission complete.
Close enough for you? All craft, check in.
You're really coming into your own, Fox.
We took care of the rest while you were gone.
Woohoo!
And with that, we managed to get 239. I think it's 250. Nope, 300 for that one. So I was very much off for that one. Ugh. Like I said, if you have the Amiibos, those can help a lot in terms of getting the medals, but what also helps is being in practice, which I have not been for a little while here.
Walker functionality engaged. The walker allows for more maneuverability in confined spaces.
So what that basically means is now you can use the walker functionality everywhere. We couldn't use it in Corneria before, but now we can. If we wanted to go back to Corneria and use the walker mode to do something that needed the walker mode, we can go back there. However, for this Let's Play, we're going to be going straight through linearly and then going back to previous levels once we finish the main story to sort of get the branching paths from there. And anyway, next time on Star Fox Zero, we are going to be entering Area 3. See you all then. Later.